Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And let's call a spade a spade. Merlot is getting pissed on, and I want to bring it back, Mott. I mean, Merlot is looked upon as a boring, simplistic, entry-level type grape that is the farthest thing from the truth. Shame on you, Hollywood, for positioning this beautiful grape varietal in such an awkward place. And we are looking at a Chilean, Washington State, and California Merlot today on the Thunder Show. But there's a couple things I want to talk about first. First and foremost, Mott, link it up. The election pack, secret pack. We're tasting this on election day. Really looking forward to it. And we are almost out of them. They are flying. So if you've had any thoughts of possibly doing the election secret pack, which means you'll be tasting along with me the exact wines on election day, I highly recommend you do that ASAP. Also, coming off an epic two-part series with Randall Graham, a couple things I want to talk about. Read the comments. One, I massively apologize for putting the bottles in front of Randall. That was a mistake of my part. I'm bad. I'm not good. I deserve to be punished, and I apologize. Mott, you also should have said something.
I wasn't here.
That's why. I was like, I saw you pointing. I thought you were trying to be my friend. You weren't here, and you would have saved me. Number two, a lot of people said, shut the hell up, shut your mouth, let Randall speak. There is one thing I hope you do understand about the Thunder Show. Unlike network television or other places, we don't edit. And so sometimes I have to jump in and try to get the conversation moving because, otherwise it'll be too long. And obviously, halfway through, I didn't realize, I would cut it. I said, I better cut this to a two-parter because it was going 50 minutes. So please give me a little leeway on that. I'm still way too hyper and too pumped up and do jump on people. But please keep in mind, no editing, which means we have to speed up the conversation. We don't have the benefits of like Oprah or Katie Couric, where they edit all that crap to make it perfectly fit in a box. Thank you, Mom. Anyway, Jets Kansas City game. Casa Lapostolle, 2005. Cuvee Alexandre Merlot. This is one of the really great wines coming out of Chile for a long time. This wine rolls at $17 US. There is 15% Carmenere in this wine. Keep that in mind. And the 85% of Merlot come from 60-year-old grapes. So this is a wine that has been really doing well for years. Commonly scored in the 90-point range by the Wine Spectator, and really is a wine that I haven't tasted in about 4 or 5 vintages. I'm really excited about trying this wine. Merlot, being one of the classic original grapes in Bordeaux, has found great life all over the world. Italy, Spain, not as much Spain, Italy, Argentina, Chile, California, obviously in lots of parts of France. And so it's a great varietal that deserves a lot more respect than I think it has at this point. This is the Casa Lapostolle, 15% Carmenere blend. Gorgeous. Gorgeous color. I mean, Mott, just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, just really, just pretty color. Let's give it a sniffy sniff because that's what we do. This comes across with a lot of chalk dust coming through on the initial attack. I also get really dark chocolate and a little bit of green, bell peppers coming through. Quite a bit of greenness coming through. Mott, give it a little snippy snip. Mott must be happy about himself. Giants 1-0.
Oh, that was a great game.
Great game. Snap. Crazy snap. Green, right?
Yes.
Very basil-y, green pepper. Very fascinating. By the way, really enjoyed last week's show. I mean, that Randall Graham two-parter was awesome. Really appreciate all the comments. Really appreciate all the people with the secret pack. Oh, I'm going to be at Wine Library this weekend on Saturday from noon to 5, so please come and say hello. I'm helping people out on the floor. Looking forward to that. And soon you'll be finding out about the green wristbands. Very soon. One more sniffy sniff. Very green. Let's give it a whirl. I get some dark chocolate-covered cherries coming through on the palate. You definitely get a sense of oak. So it's a little bit more New World. There's definitely that oak aspect coming through. Very mocha, very dark bitterness of cocoa bean coming through. I like it. Good balance, good acidity, like tannic acid. I get a little hint of like liqueur coming through here, like dark liqueur, almost like really, you remember those chocolates that had liquor in it, Mont? You know, those like cheesy chocolates you get sometimes in the holidays. They're like $3. I get a little bit of that flavor profile because the heat is coming across a little bit too much for me. But not awful, but it's definitely coming across 14.5 alcohol content. A solid wine from Casa Lapostolle, a wine that a lot of you can find. I think 3 to 5 years is going to be a nice window for it, maybe up to 7 years in a drinking window. I would put it away in a cellar for 24 to 36 months. I would decant it for 3 to 4 hours, believe it or not. I think it has a lot more to open up, and I would pair it with very big foods. Steaks and things of that nature. Solid wine. I'm going to go 89 points in this wine. The alcohol probably hurt it a little bit for me. It's a little bit disjointed and off balance, but I do see over the next 24 to 36 months this wine coming together and becoming more of an epic value. 17 bones, definitely not something to frown upon. It does try to deliver its best. You got to give it A for effort, and let's move on. Now, I'm dying to try this. I've heard some things about this. Mercer Estates, 2005, Washington Merlot from Horse Haven Hills Vineyard, 14.5 alcohol content. David Froesch is the winemaker. This wine is $18 US, 91 points. Wine Spectator. That is some pretty sexy stats, Mott. You know, some pretty sexy stats. It's like 24, 34, I don't know what the sexy stats are, but this has sexy stats. I mean, on paper, people love ratings. Even though you shouldn't listen to him. 18 bones, 91 points, Spectator from Washington State, from one of the great vineyards, the Horse Haven Hill. I mean, this is pretty neat to me. I'm very enthusiastic about trying this. P.S. Brett Favre. Let's give it a snippy sniff. I mean, the man just heaves the ball for no reason. Anyway, don't blame our offensive line. It's the play calling. You got to put yourself 3rd and 1 mod against the worst rushing team in the NFL, and we throw the ball 5 times. Gorgeous, gorgeous raspberry fruit exploding on the nose on this wine. Just really coming across, guys. Really liking it. There's clearly like wow. Actually, that being said, Mott, I love getting you involved today. Boatloads. I mean, bowls. Let's give me like 7 bowls of gorgeous cherries coming through in the nose, right? I mean, just cherry juice. The cherry juice train has landed, Mott. The CJT is here. Here's my ticket. Punch it. I appreciate it, kind sir. Now load my nose with it. That's what this wine is doing. Cherry juice. And the raspberries are still there as well, but cherry juice for days. Wow. Let's give it a whirl. Just a very interesting wine. First and foremost, completely attacks your palate. I love my ring. Completely attacks your palate. Coats it with cherry juice and creme fraiche. You know what I mean by creme fraiche? Creme fraiche components. That's where the oak is coming through. I do get vanilla. I get a hint of mocha in there, and I like it. There's good balance. There's good texture. It's a tad tannic, which is nice. Makes me think a little bit more breathing. With a meal, little meat action, little juice from the animal in my mouth with this wine. I think I like it. Adore the price point at 18 bones, $18. Big wine, huge aspirations. I feel like this wine is extremely ambitious, which I like about it. I like ambition. Far superior wine, in my opinion, with its overall length of fruit than the prior wine. A little bit disjointed. Good, solid backbone. Just like has girth. It's got a foundation, folks. Tornado comes through, this house is standing. The rest of the place, it's like the one house in development. When you see that, you're like, that's what this has. A very solid effort from Mercer Estates. A good Merlot. And this is where people call Merlot pansy ass, where I want to just drop kick them and put them directly into the camel clutch. Because this wine is far from pansy ass. This wine, my friends, this is like tough wine. Like helmet wine. Like lunch pail, go to the construction site. For 17 years, you've worked with your hands. They're so dirty you can't wash them kind of wine. This wine brings serious effort and structure. Good job by Mercer. Good Merlot. Let me give it one more shot. A very nice wine. I give David Force a lot of credit. I think he put together this wine very nicely. There is a clear distinction of tannic, bitter tannins on the mid-palate transition to the finish. So if you don't like the bitterness in red wine, keep note of that. I, on the other hand, like it. I'm going 90 plus points in this wine. I think it is a gorgeous representation of why Washington State Merlots do extremely well. A little cooler climate action. I like it. It's good. Reminds me of some Bordeaux with a little bit of a oomph. You know, it's like giving, you know, a burly, like tough guy in a guinea tea a dandelion, so he holds it for a picture. It just adds a little softness to the overall picture, man. You like that, right? Big smile on you. All right, let's move on. Dying to try this as well. Heard good things about this. This wine is flying at the wine library, so clearly other people like it. Bravante, 2005 Merlot from Howell Mountain, 15% alcohol, big wine, 92 points wine and spirits. Winemaker Dwayne Dappin is extremely talented. This wine rolls at $33. Mott, give it to me. Give it to me. Little Patrick Ewing over there. Oh yeah, baby. I know. Little 33.
It's dark.
It's dark, but can they make it out?
Let me swing the light around.
Swing that light around now. They need this. There he is. Patrick Ewing. 33 bones. This wine comes from the Howell Mountain. Very small production. Only 200 cases made of this wine. 92 points. Wine and spirits. And I'm excited about trying this, Mod. 33 bones. Not bad for 92 wine and spirits. Small production. People have been really ranting and raving about this wine. I love Howell Mountain. I think they produce some of the finest wines. Continue to be blown away by people's lack of excitement for Merlot. I hope this show shows you so far so good. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. The Oak Monster has made an appearance, and we've missed him, Mott. He's been far and few between. We've been pretty lucky. This wine is loaded with serious oak. Let's see if there's anything going on here. Merlot has aromas of fruit, herbs, and toasty oak. You're damn right, Bravante. Toasty oak it is, and it's the Oak Monster if you really want to know what's up. Heavy doses of oak. I do also get a little bit of like a cranberry, raspberry kind of concoction going on. It's like a cocktail, not the juice. You know what I mean? And interesting. A lot of fruit, but heavy on the oak. I'm starting to get an oak headache. It's like somebody stuck a 2x4 directly into my brain piece, and I'm not sure I like it. A lot of creaminess. Reminds me on the nose, to be honest with you, of a lot of $8 to $12 wines because it's overdone by oak. Let's give it a whirl. Big wine, no doubt. Far from bashful. The fruit is very pure and very seductive. Hot raspberry jam is the first thing that comes to my mind. I do get a little stick, a little brush, a little weeds, actually a little, this time of year, fall, readily, you're playing football, you land on your mouth and you get a little stick, a little worm, a little rock, a little like that. I get a little bit of that action, but I gotta be honest with you, it's overwhelmed by hacksaw. Nice mod, good work. Oh, this wine is loaded with oak, and Hacksaw would be proud. He'd be walking around with this wine instead of his 2x4. Over oaked for me. I think a lot of people like the vanilla and the cherries that come with oak and red wine and Merlots. This wine does have a little bit of Cabernet in it. That should be mentioned. But all in all, guys, I've got to be honest with you. I'm not very happy with this wine at all, really. It's over oaked and just reminds me of so many things. I mean, you just can get this from Franciscan and Simi and Rodney Strong and things of that nature. Probably not with as much oomph as this wine has. I would be remiss to not mention the chocolate liqueur type component, almost like a Grand Marnier aspect of this wine that I kind of like. But this is not my cup of tea. This is not, because it's replicatable. You can do this in Australia for $15. I'm going to score this wine 84 points and give it a pass. And pretty interesting to me that you can buy these two bottles for a combined $35 and have a far better experience, in my opinion, for my palate, than you can for this at 33 bones. That's how I roll, Mott. Happy belated birthday time, Roberto Rojas Sr., Paige Montag, Paul Stonier, who I've missed so many times, who's a huge Ustream fan, big friend of his, and Stacy Brontagger. I wish you guys all happy belated birthdays. The New York Jets play the Buffalo Bills this week. I promise you, as I poke myself in the eye, clearly I'm in a bad place. Ouch. I promise you that I will not be picking the Jets. I wish your families are all healthy and happy. I'll see you next time. You, with a little bit of me, especially when I'm a pirate, we're changing the wine world. Arg.